Let's get right now. We're back here with some more Baba Is You, where last time the cheek of this game began to get on my nerves ever so slightly, but it's fine. It was one stage. I'm sure that pattern won't continue. And so I was considering it, since we've cleared stage 13, it feels like there's probably, with all the things we have at our disposal now, a way to get as far as stage 14, but then it kind of seems like also like maybe not. And then it's like, and then it's like, And I guess what it would have to be is you'd get the cursor over here, and then say the cursor is ghost, and then move it one to the right, and then say the ghost is cursor, so that it's close enough that it could move its way onto one of these stages. I guess that's what it'd have to be, huh? Actually, maybe we should do that before I go see what's in center. Let's just see if I can. If I can figure out how to do that, make that happen, we'll start with stages 14 and stuff. Otherwise, we'll move it on to center. Of course, there's some number of secret stages, or extra stages as they're called, to do by changing other things into level in this place, as well as whatever's going on up here, that we should consider at some point. Matter of fact, I might as well just do the flag as level 1 before we carry on in any other direction here. So that means I need to get the cursor. I guess I have to go out to do this. And come back in so the cursor starts at the beginning, and then I go here and do this one into level in a moment when I remember how to do that. Like that. And then we go bonk. And then douche kadunk. And then get the cursor back. Where's the cursor? Why is it up there? When did that happen? Not there. Just get you two on the same spot for now. It's usually not helpful, but here it will be. And we can put it down here, and then you bunch can go get that, please. Do this and put it down there, and then okay, another way. Extra. Or level meta. Secret. Just secret, huh? Oh, gorsh. It's like the final stage of... Oh, I found this one hard. Interesting. Level meta secret, though. That makes it sound like this is the only one that's going to be like you do a level is thing, and oh, I have to do it again. Bugger. I was expecting there was going to be stuff where like you turn cursor into ghost, then say ghost is level, so you play the cursor level, and then it turns something else into a cursor or something like that, but this makes it kind of sound like maybe this will be the only one. I guess I'll just start with this one anyway. They don't have to seek the other ones out at the moment. Sorry, level meta secret, another way. Okay. Once again, though, it seems vaguely like there's actually not a whole lot of this that we have direct control over. So, Kiki is push, Skull is defeat, Rock is stop, Baba is hot, Baba is push, Ice has wall, Wall is stop, Baba is us, Rock is rock, Ice is melt. So, there's win keyword here. Presumably, we're going to put it under the flag thing. There's no end word or anything, so, and I don't see the word level anywhere, so it's just, we're just trying to win at the moment, even though it has some bears some resemblance to the final stage of the base game, the final stage. So, currently, rocks are not push, right? Are they? No. They're stop. We can move it left and... Oh, they're also hot, are they? Oh, I'm hot. Okay. I don't really understand what's going on here, where if we move the rock to the left, it just becomes another Skull is defeat. I guess we'll worry about that later. But currently what we really would like is for the rock to move or something. Or be push or be turnable into other things. We have a box word, apparently. Ice has wall. Oh, Christ. Oh, so this is the situation where I go in and then it becomes a wall behind me, okay? So we've got the word rock, okay, right. So that's an instance where we do have the word rock, so if we want it to be push... Alright, to know what I want, I guess I have to know where we're ending up also. I'm guessing... Oh no, that doesn't really work, huh? Alright, so Baba is us isn't changing. I was thinking ahead here and thinking, well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get past the skull, so maybe the way this works is on the turn where it changes from Skull is defeat to Skull is defeat, you can get through here, but that doesn't really make sense, I guess, because you'd have to move for 2 turns to get through, so to speak. So I'm guessing the way this works is we're gonna have stuff be moving, like rocks maybe, on their own, so one of them like pushes this up here, and then the other one like is over here and pushes the wind to the right, and then we go get the flag, something like that. Regardless, it feels like the first thing that has to happen is rock is push. Oh, Baba is push, which I only just realized. Which I guess just means you can't get text onto yourself. Anyway, I don't remember how we did this, except that it was hard. Was it something like... Oh, that doesn't really work, because you can't put something down here and then move it right. Do we have the Kiki push the is and the push up. It's something like this, right? So we get the is goes, and then we're gonna, oh yeah, we go like, buh. No, okay, I need another word or something, I guess. Maybe that's what the box word is for. No, but that doesn't make sense. Oh, well, it can make sense. If we just do it like this. Because the box has no precedent anywhere else as to what it does or is. So if we get Kiki going like, I would have had to push Kiki first. Okay, so we get Kiki like all the way over here. Oh, we don't need the box for that actually. We just gotta get is push, if I'm understanding this correctly, is push. And in fact, I think we can do this first. Like this, and then say Kiki's move. So it's gonna, the Kiki is going to walk up and down there, as they do, and then we're going to go through here, and then wait, and then they're going to go buh, and we're going to go huh, and then wait again, and then they're going to come back, and it'll be like this, and it's good for us, and then, I don't know if the ice is necessary for us to go back in at any point, but I guess I can't stop Kiki from being moved here, but it's fine, they can just continue to walk that way, and now we can push rocks here, and then it's, how do we do all this? And what the heck is the point of skull is defeat to skull is defeat? And what the heck is the point of this? Rock is rock with this little gap here. Maybe there isn't one. If we want flag to be win, it seems like we need to do rock as we can get rid of this rock, but then we can't use this for anything. And it seems like these would need to be moved as well, so we were supposed to have done this already, or we need to get the word rock out somehow? I don't think you can get the word rock out, because it was here, right? So that would mean you have to push it up and then left, which you can't, or down and then to one of these two ice things and then down, which you can't. So the rock doesn't come out of there, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the word box is for yet. I suppose you, before you did rock is push, you would want skull is box. But they're stopped. They're not nothing right now. Right. Oh, that was fine. I didn't actually need to restart there. I could have just kept pushing box until it was skull is box. Right, silly me. Okay, sorry, let's just do that again then. So far, I feel like I'm finding this easier than I did the actual final one. Nope, gotta push the Kiki first, Admiral. Ahem, so, twonk, bonk, let me out. Box goes here, and then skulls are boxes, guess what, didn't you know? Haha. And then easily we get the win out, and rock is weak, bang, win. Okay, so some of this is just designed this way to resemble the earlier stage. It doesn't actually come into play. Like, there didn't need to be two rocks down there, for instance. Neat, very cool, we got that done. I guess we'll head to center now. Slash, was there something else I wanted to... Oh, right, I wanted to see if I could get to stage 14 with the plan I had of turning the cursor into a ghost and then back. Okay, which means the cursor needs to... well, it means this thing that says level needs to be back into a flag, I think. Oh, and I guess I have to leave because I can't get this cursor off this. Leave and go back, and we'll get to center at some point. Turn this into a flag, like so. And now we go... skadoosh, skaboosh, skadash. That's fine, maybe. Get this cursor... Put it over here. Now all I have to do is build cursor as ghost in a way that makes it so that we can move right and have that happen. Like this. So we can go right, ghost. And then we have to do the same thing, but in a way that gets ghost as cursor moving just in somewhere that it can then cardinally move to that 14, I suppose. Like, like this, like that, just like that. Stage 14, level 14, mana 14 even. Q. Wowzers. Okay, cool. Sorry, I know I keep going back and forth being like, oh, we'll go to center. I don't know, we'll try some more stages here. Just until my brain sees the paths connecting. It can be hard to know how I want to navigate it. I should just stop making promises about what order we'll do things in. Simple as. But nonetheless, we've got to level meta 14 Q. We have to imagine that at some point in here, we're going to get... Oh, what would it be? I think I've been told that the right keyword does not show up anywhere here, so I don't know how we would get something in here that would be is win if it had to be a word. Yeah, I guess the only other thing it could be is level is text, which would be level is win, but then Oh, no, I was going to say then it would always be here. And you would never be able to do anything here, but that's not true, because it would show up here, and then you'd always have to navigate it. But even in that case, if you did that and then did, like, cursor as ghost, so you can move around here. Supposing it was this one, say, because I guess it can't be this one. This one becomes the word level. You push that up. I don't know what you do next. You have to already have someone in here, I guess. Which would mean having more cursors from other things. Anyway, it's a later problem. Level meta 14, Q. Ice is ice. Skull is us. Kiki is stop. Flag is win. Kiki near. Kiki is float. Kiki is Kiki. Wall is stop. Ice is push. Ice is Tella. Text is float. Baba's Baba. Baba's stop. Alright, that's a lot going on there. Okay. Kiki near. Kiki is float. We're the skull. The flag is win. Why can we not move just through here? Because Kiki is stop as our Baba and the wall. Apparently Kiki would need another Kiki to be near itself. I can't think of anything that the I and S could be that isn't the word is. So that's probably how that's going to be. Guys, is push and Tella currently. I believe if I did something like Kiki is Tella, then I can traverse that spot. Oh no, if you're stop and Tella, you can't. Ah, I see. It don't work like that. Actually, it also means I can't push ice onto you or anything. Okay, so the Q thing. So we need to, it makes it sound like we're gonna do some teleporting shenanigans to get them moving one at a time down this path until we have a clear way to go. So fortunately though, skull is you, that's not gonna change. So I just have to worry about us being the skull for a while. Just a sigil of death trailing behind them their every step to remind them that nothing is permanent. Baba's Baba, Kiki's Kiki's. That's to make it so that you can't just say Baba is Kiki and then Kiki is push, for instance. And of course, if you make any one of Kiki or Baba push, they can't move because the other one is stop. So this is where the Q comes in. I'm guessing we're going to have to make an is push statement in two different ways that they become with something how with the ice that teleports, you make them push at the same time with weirdness, essentially. Like if you had the word, okay. Well, so that's why this is all locked up, so you can't do Baba is push and then Kiki is push with straightforward methods, but you may be able to do it in some other way with shenanigans. I don't think Baba or Kiki being Tella is in any way useful, because there's only one of them, for one thing, and it doesn't like allow you to traverse their space or any such thing. Baba near Kiki, I see, so this is just long enough so you couldn't do like Baba near Kiki, I-S push, and then Kiki is push from the other side. That's why this extends this far. And if I'm not mistaken, if something is stop and float, it doesn't mean you can go under it. Because I think this would be too easy otherwise. You could just say Baba near Kiki is float, or even just Baba is float, I guess. And then Kiki is push, and you would be able to push the Kiki under the Baba. I'm pretty sure. So if something is float and stop, it still does stop you, even though that doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't float that high, I guess, is the idea. But so the idea of Q makes it sound like they're push intermittently or moving intermittently or something like that, right? I don't know what the deal with float is, though. I guess if you're float, you're not affected by Tella, right? That's what it is. Okay. Which means the text will never be affected by Tella, so the teleportation is actually for some other function that I don't understand. All that can be teleported are, in theory, Baba or Kiki or Skull, I think. Or the ice, I guess, if you made something else into Tella. So it's almost more like the Tella is for me to teleport... sorry, I did that wrong. To teleport between two things to push text in a certain way or something until these two move each other along. I'm not seeing how the Tella allows us to make a situation where they're both push at the same time yet, so maybe I'm on the wrong line of thinking there. The only thing I can think is that somehow push is the thing that should go back and forth between them so that they're intermittently... Oh no, but the text doesn't get teleported, right, okay. I guess the Tella is the thing that's messing me up the most, because if it's the ice, it sounds like it's teleporting me around, which I don't get how that helps. Because we've already said, even if we could do Kiki is Tella and Baba is Tella at the same time somehow, Tella only goes between two things that are both Tella and the same object. You can't have like a wall, like a pile of leaves and a thing of lava that are both Tella that go, and so that objects go between them. Tella only goes between two things that are the same. So it's the ice, basically, in some way, which would be cool if I could get one of these two onto a thing of ice so that I could swap places with them, so to speak. But that requires moving them, which is the whole point that I'm trying to achieve here, so... I don't yet see how near could be helpful. So it's obviously not for Kiki near Kiki, because that required 2 Kikis, which we do not possess. I have no idea what this little slot here is for. It almost feels like I want one of the ice pieces there, and I just have no idea why. So the application of float with the context of this level is... A, you cannot win if you land on something, if there's something below you that is wind and you're floating. But I can't do skull as floats, that shouldn't be a problem. But B, more importantly, you don't get teleported. So it's like what I'm supposed to do is there should be ice that one of these two is on, that is teleport. And then I have something like, well, no, that doesn't make sense. I was going to say it's such that they're not floating, but then they teleport and become floating so that they don't teleport back and they stay out of my way, so to speak. But all that presumes I can have them on the ice somehow, which if I could do that, you would think this would be over, because I could just teleport them away and then on one of the turns where they're not there, say the other thing is push and then go past and push. And I don't really understand what's with the IS for is yet either. Queue, as in you're going through a queue, like a list of things in order. Potentially things trying to get to a destination in order, so to speak. And these two are holding up the queue because we can't get past them to the flag. I just don't know how this all comes together at all. Like, I haven't really made any... Often what happens is, like, I'll be like, okay, I get what the third step is, I just don't know what the first two are. I don't know what any of the steps are yet. I have some floating ideas about how float makes you not teleport, and how clearly this Baba is placed where it is that we can't just make them both push at the same time. What I don't get is, how could I get them... It feels like the teleportation's gotta be for me, because if it's for them, it means I can push them, which means I've already solved the entire level. If I can push any of them in any direction, it's that we win, I'm pretty sure. So the teleportation is in some way for me to assist me in... shenaniganizing, but how? Okay, so the three... So because there's no object transformation going on. Ice is ice, Baba is Baba, Kiki is Kiki. The only thing I'm doing is making ice, Baba, or Kiki some combination of float, push, or tele. So something along the lines of push one of them out of the way, or teleport one of them out of the way, and then you can push the other one easily. Or find a way to make them both push. But if you can make them both push, it seems like you don't need the tele. Except if the tele is somehow to get Baba... Well, the only way you could... Yeah, you can only get them both to be push via tele if you got them on the same spot, which involves being able to move this one in the corner, which isn't happening. Oh, and of course you wouldn't because the text doesn't do it because it's floating. So the teleport allows me to get, like, inside text in a way, but to what end? I'm pretty sure this is a thing, right? Just because... 3 things are tele does not mean they necessarily connect. Like, I'm only going to go between the ice here, not the Kiki. So by that logic, there is never a point where having either of these be tele is helpful, because all it's going to do is put it on the spot it already was, which if they, being stopped, could already access that area, it help. I'm pretty sure. So this being IS rather than just an is word is to make it so that you can't cross-section it, I guess. You can't do an is like this. So I guess what I should ask myself is, what would that let you do that they're trying to prevent you from doing? And that maybe give me a better sense of what I'm trying to achieve here. But that line of thinking isn't helping me. Regardless of how I think these ones will move, push is involved, because even if I'm moving them by teleporting them, I can't push a teleportation thing under them because they are stopped. Which means that I'm either pushing them onto an empty space or a teleportation space when I'm pushing them, right? Those are the 2 options. Which means I do push them. Which means either they're both pushed at the same time, or I'm standing where the Baba is pushing the Kiki up, or I'm standing where the Kiki is pushing the Baba down. If I were standing where the Baba is pushing the Kiki up, I'm already in a position to go to the flag, so that's not happening. Probably. Maybe. So it seems more likely that I'm getting the Kiki out of the way somehow that this notch allows me to do, and the fact that I have 2 of the Kiki words. And then I can just say Baba is push and go down. But like I said, the only way that I could see to get Kiki out is teleporting onto the Baba and then pushing it up. So I'm clearly thinking about this all the wrong way. Also of note is we only have Kiki and Ice in a position that we can move them around, such that they're the only things that the near quality can be applied to. You can either say near Kiki or near Ice, but you can't say near Baba. So if it's near Kiki, you're talking about Ice, because Kiki near Kiki, as we can see, doesn't do anything, which I think is why they started us with this to show you that near itself isn't anything. It needs to be two objects, which means it's Baba near Kiki, Baba near ice, Kiki near ice, or ice near Kiki. I guess what I'm not understanding is what quality is useful to have and then turn off. Or the other way around, useful to be off and then suddenly turn on. And I don't see how any of these would be. Well, the only one I thought was float so that you could be teleportable and then not teleportable. But if I can teleport them, it means I can push them, so what's the issue? So for instance here, not floating and then is floating. Not float, does float. Doesn't float, does float. Okay, I seem to be in agreement with myself though that ice is the thing that's gotta be tele, because it only seems to have any function if if it's applied to two objects of the same type. So whether it's on a conditional, I don't know, but ice is tele is what is done with tele. So that situation where it's like, I feel like I'm just forgetting something about the way float works. That should help here. Well, I don't know what the solution to this puzzle is, but seeing how fast I can move the skull back and forth is pretty fun. I've got nothing though as far as like how does I can't see a world, any kind of world where Kiki or Baba moves if they're not both push. And if they are, the level is instantly over, so it doesn't seem like there would be need for any conditionals or anything. If you could at any time have them both be push, you just go down, 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 or yeah, down, 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 left, left. Level's over. What the hell is so, like, weirdly cyclical? The only reason you'd want float is if you could get something to teleport and then you want it to not teleport after. Which means you pushed it, but if you could push it, you don't need it to float or teleport. Is how I read this. So it's like there's so much stuff, it's like half of the words in this level aren't for anything, but obviously that's not true. So what kind of situation could there be where I can push someone onto a teleportation spot so that they teleport, but then I don't want them to teleport, so I make them float only after they are near something else that will be on the other side of the teleportation, but that also does not allow me to just push them past where I need them to be. And I cannot come up with one. And I don't think it's as simple as there being some way to extend this statement such that push is also available to say Kiki is push. Because then it would, again, be too easy. You wouldn't use the float or the tele, they would be pointless. So it's something I don't understand to do with them. But then the only reason I can think that the two reasons I can think that the IS exist are so that you could extend a statement longer for a shenaniganizing setup like that, which seems to be disproved by the existence of this wall here. Or it's to make it harder to do a cross-section. Because you can't ice is push, Kiki is tele, or whatever. It's just this big thing, it only goes in one direction. But what case is there... Oh, I guess I should also ask myself, what's with this gap? If they just wanted it to make it hard to do anything with the Baba, they would have filled this in as well, right? So you're going in between here to do something? Break something vertically? I thought that came to my mind was something like Baba near Kiki is push, that this changes from Baba to push to Kiki is push at the drop of a hat, which may be combined with some teleportation shenanigans would let you do them both like quickly enough in sequence that it's one of those things where the push happens and then the logic changes so that the other push can happen in the same turn or something. But that would require two people moving, I think. One to push and one to change the statement. So yeah, I'm feeling like I've got a lack of guidance here. I just don't know where to even start with thinking about things, because the only solution I can think of is one that trivializes everything, which is they're both push. It doesn't seem like you could move them unless they were both push, in which case the level is over anyway. I'm a bit back to Solitary Isle or whatever it was, the one that gave me that pause for a long time where I ended up making like a Word document of all the possible combinations it could be. That's kind of where I'm at right now, because I'm not seeing the connections between any of this, so I feel like I just have to try everything. Don't know why this would help, but like this knowledge why this would help. But if something is float, can it also teleport me, or do I have to be on its level to be teleported? I do. So it's not just that you can float above something to not get teleported by it. It can also float above you to not teleport you, which I suppose means you can make a one-way teleport if you did something along the lines of this. You get Isis Tela, so this will teleport me to the other one, but it also, the one near Kiki is floating, so I get teleported over there, but then I don't get teleported back. Who knows what that is useful for? Help. Someone send me a sign. I've been sitting here for like a half hour doing nothing. I know it's bad because I just suddenly started thinking about this Majora's Mask speedrun I saw the other day. Instead of, you know, how to solve the puzzle. My mind just went, oh, well, this is a lost cause. Time to go somewhere else. Abandoned ship. It took me like I was there for like 8 minutes before I realized. Oh, we were on such a roll before this in the past episode, though, that it feels I don't want to like Baba his hint this one. I just have no concept of what the heck I'm doing. I don't even know where to start, even faintly. Okay, the thing I should ask myself is, what does Kiki being not in here allow you to do? I'm starting to wonder if maybe the sole function is that you can't say something near Baba is bleh. Well, I mean, partly the function is, I guess really the function is that you can't say Baba is push, Kiki is push. You can't do them at the same time. That's strictly what it's about. Or you can't easily say that they're at the same time. That's probably chiefly the reason that that is in that nook there. Maybe. Okay, does what I'm saying right now make no sense at all? I think that if you can't push these things, you can't teleport them. Kiki and Baba, that is. And if you could push them, it seems as though that your problems would be over. Because if you somehow you pushed Kiki up, you were standing where the Baba is, and you pushed the Kiki up, and then got it out of the way or whatever, then you could just say Baba is pushing, you win. So as soon as they're like apart, unless they're apart like one of them's here and one of them's here, you win. So the tele must be for the skull. But what if I can only push it here? I can't push it through them in any way. Again, the only reason I can see that float would be useful is if you wanted to teleport something and then it gets to the other side and stays there. A one-way teleportation. There, either because it floats over the teleport at that point, or the teleport floats over it at that point. But the only two things I can see, so it's either a one-way teleportation of the skull. I can't see a plane where you'd want to teleport and then not come back from. Or you're teleporting one of these and it's to avoid them coming back here. But if you wanted to do that, once they were over here, you could also just say Kiki is push and then get them off the teleportation space. And then you win. So why would you need a one-way teleportation? So what is float for? Because obviously I have no idea where I'm even starting here, but I feel like if I can figure out what one of the reasons that all of this exists are, I can work backwards from there. So if I could figure out why I would want a one-way teleportation, it might clue me into the order of the rest of it. But as it stands, I'm just naked in the dark. No idea what the hell any of this is for, so I can't begin to work backwards. I don't know why my mind keeps saying I want the ice to be where the skull is currently, so that it is both near Kiki and Baba, but I can't say Baba near something and Kiki near something. I can't say Baba near ice and Kiki near ice at the same time. There's no way to do that. And I couldn't say ice near Baba, so that's nothing. Float means no tele. That's the only reason float exists right now, so why would I not want to teleport at some point? I haven't spent that long on this one. What have we spent, like the first 14 minutes doing the secret stage on this one? And then the 6 minutes or so getting to stage 14? That's where we are, right? And it's only been a total of an hour and 20 minutes. So it's been about an hour since I started this stage, I guess. Which we've spent much longer before eventually finding the solutions, but in most of those cases, I was at least trying something. And nothing is coming to me on this. So I'm like, I am tempted to Baba his hint this one, but like, I really don't wanna. I can't imagine it's somehow another The Box situation where the outside world plays a part. How does this happen? What do I do? I'm not wrong about the whole premise, right? The premise is get the skull to the flag, so these two need to be out of the way. They need to be out of the way. It's not like you're getting ice past them that you can teleport into. These two need to move. So either you push both at once, or you're on one and you push the other. That's all, right? Those are the only two ways it could be. You can't push ice onto them, because if they're stop, there's no pushing onto them whether they're floating or what. Floating doesn't change the qualities of stop. It's just, do you interact with the tele or not, in this case. So I'm either pushing both in some direction. So basically, okay, so it's one of four things. I'm here and I push them both down. I'm here and I push them both up. I'm here and I push Baba down, or I'm here and I push Kiki up. If we're saying that it's not possible to have them both be pushed at the same time, It means it's one of those latter two, where I'm here and I push Kiki up, or I'm here and I push Baba down. But if I'm here and I can push Kiki up, I could just walk to the flag. So it's not that. So the only thing it leaves is I end up on the same spot as Kiki and push Baba down. I don't know how I could end up on the same spot as Kiki. Period, I guess, if they don't move. So you have to assume I'm wrong about my assertion of those 4 possibilities. But, okay, so push and tele are the movement-based things we have. You can push something onto a teleporter, in which case it teleports, so long as it doesn't float. You could push a teleporter onto a thing, in which case it teleports, so long as it isn't stopped, so that you can actually push it onto it. Or you could just push a thing. Those are the 3 ways a thing moves. And what we want currently is for these 2 things to move. So we're either pushing them, pushing a teleport onto them, or pushing them onto a teleport. Okay, here's a question I don't know the answer to. If ice near Kiki is Tela, that means only one thing of the ice is Tela, right? But does it bring you to the other ice anyway? This one becomes Tela because it's now near to Kiki. But does it just bring you to itself, or can it bring you to the other one? Oh, well, that's interesting. It doesn't even... I guess it's only to itself. I thought even if it was just one Tela thing, it still did the like the noise when you walked on it, but I guess not. If there's just one Tela thing by itself, I mean, logically it should be the same thing regardless. You would teleport and end up on the same spot, but I thought it still did the effect. All right, I shall fall upon the proverbial ego sword and look at the Baba is hint page for this stage. They, as I've mentioned once or twice before, if you haven't seen it, they do sort of incremental hints, so hopefully we can get by without instantly spoiling the entire thing. Okay, it straight up just says this is just a repeat of ABC4, and which I could go and find, but then it would take a while to get back here. So I'm just gonna look at the Baba is hint for ABC4. Since we've already done it, I feel like it's fair. Oh, okay, so this must be from some kind of different version, because that's not what our ABC4 looked like, was it? But their ABC4 is literally the exact same stage as this. Interesting. Okay, so the verbatim what it reads here, it's very high difficulty. It says, this might be one of my favorite levels in the game. I had to come back to it about 10 times or so before it clicked, so be patient with yourself and don't spoil it for yourself if you get stuck. Okay, well now I'm tempted to just stop here. But interestingly, the next line says, new material, connecting word near. So this would be the first time in that they would expect you've heard of near? So I have no idea. The other version of this must have been nuts in how different it was, but having read that, it's supposed to be ridiculous, so I'll just close it there and not spoil it for myself, I guess. But I might have to just stop this recording, because there's no use in bleeding my hard drive dry if I'm just gonna be sitting here doing nothing. I might as well just, like, sleep on it, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, they made some mention in that of a beta version of the game that they were playing, and they were like, we don't know, we're not sure if this is intended to be changed around in the full version or something, so I guess that's what they were playing at the time that guide was made. I don't know if it's my imagination, but it feels like the flower at the top right turns faster if I'm doing it on and off like that. In fact, maybe all the features do. But there I go, getting distracted again because I'm thinking of nothing. If I could have 2 things of text on the same spot, I was thinking I could use like 2 is statements in the same direction, like Baba I S push Kiki is. So Baba I Kiki is S push, and then you get Baba is push and Kiki is push with 2 different ises, but then you can't. None of that works if you can't teleport the text, right? The only way. Wait, how have I gotten text onto each other in the past? Multiple pairs of Tela things, I guess, or shift with the Tela version, of course, only working if the text were not to float. Ugh, I'm feeling so impatient today. Sorry, Baba is hint, I must disregard your advice. I understand what you're saying and your comments are valuable, but I'm going to ignore your advice and take your first hint on this one, I think. I would like my gentle nudge, please. Why do you suppose you have the letters I and S instead of another is? To make it so that I can't do a cross-section. I would like the bigger nudge, please. I might be wrong about that, but that's what I figure. What arrangements of words do you need to form both Baba is push and Kiki is push? Specific hint, please. If I knew that, bloody hell, we'd be away to the races. Is there any way you can get something to teleport one way but not teleport back? Okay, yeah. So I've solved all that. None of that helped. Okay. the hints were all just stuff I've said to myself over this past hour and a bit. So that's weird. If I've figured out what this otherwise very reliable guide's specific hint was on my own, you would think I would be very close to the solution. And yet, that's funny. Now that I think about it, my thought process basically did go in ascending order all three of those hints. I once asked myself, why did they give me IS instead of is? Probably to prevent me from doing cross-section. How do I get Baba is push and Kiki is push at the same time? Well, I guess I didn't exactly think of what configuration should they be in. I mused over some similar things, but and then how do you make something teleport somewhere and not teleport back? Obviously, I thought about that a whole bunch. I don't... If those nudges and hints work together, then that would make it sound as though I make something teleport to one place and not teleport back to form the words, which sounds wrong because I would need to be able to teleport the words in that case. Yeah, the hint that I just read makes it sound like I'm supposed to teleport words or letters to a place and then not back, but they don't teleport because they are float, and I don't seem to be able to teleport Kiki or Baba unless they are already push, in which case we seem to have solved the problem. So it's about teleporting myself somewhere and then not back? I was expecting those hints to show me that I had been looking at way the wrong direction, but they showed me that I'm looking apparently in the right direction and still not seeing it, which makes me want to look up the actual solution even more. But in essence, that makes it sound like ice near something is float, and then you hop on one ice. And then... Well, but that would mean Kiki is the only thing it could be near that it would be float. So it's like what they're saying is I need to... I am going to be able to create Baba is push and Kiki is push at the same time, but doing so will put me in a place where I want to teleport out and not return. But if that were the case, I would teleport out and then just move away from the ice. So that's clearly not what it's about. Wait, let me look at that thing again. Was their text floating also, or was this an earlier version where that was not a thing? Why do I keep closing it every time? I have to search it up again. The Google search of shame. Yeah, their text is float. It all looks the same as mine. Well, I guess I'm still not understanding. One of their nudges was, how do you make Baba is push and Kiki is push on the same spot, which... I have no idea, but my best guess was something along the lines of where the I is the word Kiki, where the S is the word is, and then push here. But of course, that does not in any way align with the idea of teleporting, a one-way teleport, because the only way I can make that happen is ice is Tela and ice near Kiki is float. Or Kiki near ice is float, which means one of the pieces of ice is over here, which has nothing to do with building this. Or so it would seem. I'm thinking maybe what they're trying to get at is something like, you're gonna have to do this, but with the word ice here. Something a little like this, but with the I where the Kiki is and the S where this is. And it does not yet answer to me why I would need this one-way thing. God, that hint has made it... it's made me even more confused. It shouldn't, because it means I was right about the function of float as it relates to near, so that should simplify things for me, but somehow it hasn't. I am tempted to just look up the solution to this one, because this feels like an unfortunate place to get stuck, considering I've apparently made the main sort of solve, or one of the big ones of it. But I still haven't, I have no idea where to begin to look at solving the rest of it. If the text doesn't teleport, I can't get it on the same spot as anything else. I can't get it on the same spot as another piece of text. Sorry, I think I'm gonna have to look this one up. This has officially cut far too much into my day. I had stuff to do today. Oh, Wiki of Wonders, teach me your ways. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah. No, I wasn't going to consider that. I didn't even see the full solution, but I now understand what it is. I see what I did wrong, which was I thought if you're floating, you can't be teleported, which is not what it means. It means you would need to both be floating to use the teleport. So it all makes sense now. Okay, so I had the idea So in case you haven't if you don't understand what I'm saying yet, in fact, I basically actually had it all in the right setup where I just had it set up. So the first place this ice needs to be, I was basically thinking about why would I need to pop over here as a one-way thing, and that's effectively backwards from where it ought to be. And again, if you don't understand what I mean, you will probably see in a moment. I am glad I looked this one up because it was that I had earlier just disregarded the idea of being able to float and teleport. I was putting the two as at odds with each other, so that was just... It was wrong, but I wasn't going to correct it anytime soon, so there was no point for me to continue thinking about it this way. I would have been so annoyed if I left it 3 hours and then went, oh yeah, they can teleport if they're both floating. I was just like, float equals not teleport. So it is the thing I was saying to do of using... I was like, there's no way to teleport the text in this level to get the I and S onto the Kiki and is incorrect. Because since they're both floating, you can teleport one onto the other. Okay. Very, very glad I looked that up because that would have taken so long and I would have been so mad. Not glad that I had to look it up, but glad that I chose to because I had like the thinky solve, which was you can do a one-way teleport and Baba IS push, Kiki is push. I had like everything except the connective tissue of knowledge to do this. But not that, Admiral, because that's the wrong letter, you dunce. This one. And this way, Kiki and I are on the same spot. Yeah, I guess I didn't actually really have to do it like this. I could have set the I and S up beforehand. I don't know, I kind of do need to do this in a sort of awkward way where I gotta get the ice out and get it somewhere where it's easy to get this stuff onto it. Ugh, that's a relief to have that off my shoulders, though. I was starting to get the feel that it was something like that, where it wasn't about thinking hard anymore. It was about I'd gotten something wrong earlier on that was basically never going to allow me to do this right. But there we go. Good, fun, excellent. Well, it feels a bit bad to leave it there since I had to end on that outrageous failure. But at the beginning of this episode was the extra stage and getting as far as here, at least I think so. So it wasn't like that was all we did this episode, but looking it up was absolutely the right move, so we'll be carrying on with breaking and entering next time on Bubba Is You. Thank you so very much for coming around. Next week on the channel is going to be some more Persona 3 Portable. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's going to be out of here now. Peace! I'm very silly. Oh, that was so weird. Fufuka and Mitsu Senpai were both saying the enemy is down at the same time. Sure, I'll take the coin. Yo, / I fused out Fortune, so I should have just done that. Silly me, because I do want to be building.